Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday Q&A call on the speakerfocus.com platform. I am Kevin T. Robertson, branded up from the floor up, CEO of speakerfocus.com. I am so excited to be here with each and every one of you today to tackle the tough questions about growing your speaker business. We are here to serve you at the highest level possible. On behalf of Auston Troyer and the entire tech team, we welcome you to today's Q&A session. As I was wondering about my opening dialogue and my monologue for what I wanted to share with you going into this session, and what I had on my heart to share with you was really all about making sure that you are ready for the change of seasons. And so change of seasons is really all about the work that you did maybe a couple seasons ago. You know, when they're ready to roll out the new clothes, you know, the fashion industry is a great indicator for what's coming. They put clothes out months in advance. They have the winter coats out right now in the store. The fall coats are out right now in the store for you to purchase, and you're not really ready for them yet, but they just want you to know that it's there. Your speaker business, the meeting planner may not be ready to receive you yet, but you are preparing for the next season. Are you ready to change with the next season? Are you staying a little bit ahead of the game? See, I used to be the king of chaos and the icon of inconsistency and the president of procrastination. So I was always a day late, dollar short, always behind, always behind. I remember I showed up 15 minutes late for a proposal. I used to be a general contractor back in the day. And before I started learning how to flip houses, I was out there laying floors and finishing basements and punching out apartments and all this kind of stuff. So I had a chance to get a contract with the state. It was probably like $550,000. And I was 15 minutes late. And so they just started the bidding process and somebody else got the bid. And they said, if you're late, you don't get a chance to participate. And that's how it works. So are you ready for the new season? Are you preparing your speaker business, every single facet of it, to be received by the meeting planner so you can harvest and be ready for harvest time when that time comes? And that's the real question that I have for you. If you're always feeling like you're behind, that means you're not in the game. You're not doing research. You're not putting forth the effort. See, you could take a really, really determined person and you could put them in a situation, and if they have maximum effort or superior effort, they're going to win every single time. I've been in plenty of situations where I wasn't the most talented, but I'd be damned if I wasn't going to outwork everybody. You're going to have to put my ass in the ground before you outwork me. And that needs to be your mindset. There's always somebody working on their craft. Don't really worry about what they're doing. Look at how they're doing it, especially the successful people. Adopt those habits. Take on the habits of a person who is willing to go out and do the work from 3 seasons ago to prepare for the summer. See, if you want a summer workout body, you got to start you got to probably start this summer to prepare for next summer, because you didn't put the weight on overnight, and it's not going to come off overnight. Speaker business is the same way. You're not going to get it popping overnight unless you're willing to put forth the effort. So what I'm telling you is, it's not how much time you have, it's what you do with the time you have. What are you doing with every waking hour? Are you Netflix and chilling? Are you hanging out with friends? Are you on the phone talking to family members who cannot help you advance, who can't support, uplift your dream or your vision? If so, good for you. Keep doing what you're doing. It just leaves more abundance for people who are ready for the abundance. So the real question to you tonight on the Q&A session, are you ready for abundance? Are you ready for the next season? Have you put in the effort to plow the back 40 2-3 seasons ago? And are you ready for the crop to come in right now? Have you done the work? It's really simple. I'm going to go with Charlene first. She was up. Then I'm going to go with Rafa, David, and then Samantha. Charlene, talk to me.
Hello, Kichyo. Always so good to hear you. You're a good singer too. Made my day.
I try, Charlene. I try really hard to work on vocal tonality. I wasn't bands, and I used to sing background. I may not be the best lead singer in the world, but I could give you some good background vocals. That's really all I was doing. What's your question or comment today?
All right, so I'm almost done with my speaker video demo, which I'm about to send to you for your review and feedback. Nice. I just have a very quick question. I did follow every single one of your advice, but there is just one thing that I want to know. What's your magic number? Do you like the 3 to 5 minutes mark? Do you like the 4 to 7 minutes mark? Because I've gone through the material on Speaker Focus and also the speaker demo video that you recommended that I watch, and I noticed they're all somewhere between 3 to 7 minutes. Yeah. Can you tell me, do you have a magic number?
I like 3 to 5 minutes. When you think
3 to 5.
Yeah, 3 to 5. When you think of a movie trailer, and this is something that I learned from Sean Lampkin, who is Martin Lawrence's the actor Martin Lawrence. Sean is his right-hand man. He's his executive assistant. Me and Sean used to sit next to each other in band when we were in the 10th grade. So Sean taught me something. He's been out in Hollywood with Martin for like 20, 25 plus years. And I had the opportunity to meet him when he came back to the DC area. And I was putting together a sizzle reel. The first time I took a run at really trying to do a sizzle reel. So what he did was he sent me a couple clips of a movie trailer. So a movie trailer, it changes frames every 1 or 2 seconds. It's meant to keep you on the edge of your seat. So you shouldn't give them too much in your speaker video demo, but you should give them just enough so they know, watch this, 3 things you need to accomplish in 3 to 5 minutes. Number 1, who are you? What do you do? How does it benefit the target buyer? How does it benefit the meeting planner? In 3 to 5 minutes, you need to accomplish, who are you? What do you do? How does it benefit them? If you can get that done in 3 to 5 minutes, hit them real hard, boom, and then get out of there. It's gonna make them want more. So the editing, post-production is really, really important. And let me share this with you. What you do not capture in pre-production, that means all the pictures, video, live footage, talking head shots, any content that you give to the editor, if the content's horrible on the front end, your post-production goals are gonna look really, really bad. So shoot great content in pre-production and then give it to the editor for post-production. If you have a great editor and they keep the footage moving every 2 or 3 seconds, benefit language, picture, benefit of your keynote presentation, video, clip of you live, benefit, clip of you here, benefit. It's constant. Who are you? What do you do? How does it benefit me? If you can get that done in 3 to 5 minutes, you've done your job. Got any other question?
Yeah, can I run you through my current structure quickly to make sure I didn't forget anything, because it's about to get published tomorrow. So
yeah, please.
Okay, cool.
You know how awesome. We doing it. We're not in a rush.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Right. So first thing, she got me a thumbnail. So thumbnail with like little, like a YouTube thumbnail. Then we got into like snippets. So I selected 3 different snippets from 3 of my best keynotes. Then I inserted, the bit where people are clapping, so you see people's reaction. Yeah. Then I inserted key question that I asked. Then I inserted top reviews from some of my top clients. Okay. And then I inserted the booking, if you want to book Charlene, And okay. That is exactly 4 minutes, 39 seconds.
Okay, now the booking, the call to action is at the very, very end, obviously.
The very, very end with all the feeders. So it shows my name, how to contact me, and everywhere I've been featured, like as seen and featured on BBC, radio, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
All of that sounds great. But what about the value of your signature programs? Where's that going?
Oh, yeah. So the snippets that I've selected, so I didn't describe the snippets, but the snippets are selections of moments where I talk about my keynotes. So all the extracts have been selected by myself and my team to give an overview of what the keynotes are about.
Ah, got it. Okay, so now will you be adding some text? They call it a lower third. Like if you're sitting in front of your computer and you look at the lower left of your screen or your lower right, you have maybe your logo watermark down there, or you can flash the signature program across the screen. That's called a text overlay. They're going to do things like that for you as well, correct?
Actually, I hadn't thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Well, you should be thinking about it. So when you get the first draft back, send it to me and I could say, hey, you're missing this on this frame or at this timestamp. And then you could just tell the editor, and it's real easy for them to change that. But be thinking about that. Tell them that you should have, like, whatever the title to your signature program is, you should run that across the screen. That, again, that has the value. You show value 4 ways when you're producing content. Text, which is the copy or the words to your signature program or the words to your messaging. Pictures, obviously videos, and then some type of infographic, text overlay, graphic, something like that. That's the 4 components to creating content. As long as you give them all the content that they need, it sounds like your speaker video demo is going to be amazing. It sounds like you looked at some other students on the platform who did an amazing job. And we get sent some amazing examples of speaker video demos. Every time I think it can't get any better, some student will send one in and they take it to a whole nother level, because really it's a personal thing. You could try to get as close to you as you can to 3 to 5 minutes worth of fire and just do it your way. You have a brand. You've been great up to this point with everything you've done. Don't ever be afraid to make upgrades to your speaker video demo as you get better bookings. Just switch the information out. I would say maybe once or twice a year, you could upgrade your speaker video demo. Sometimes you don't have to touch it for years because it's so well produced. So send it to us and let's see what you got.
And on that note, KTR, because it's been a year since you last sent me some of the one you recommended, do you mind popping a few to me? Maybe if I send you a ticket, do you have some new one? Because I love it, just it gives me inspiration, you know.
Of course. If you want to see what one looks like on a Hollywood level, don't even make me pull it up right now because I will. But go
on then.
go to KevinTRobertson.com. And my guys out of LA, they produce movies and they work on feature motion pictures. So I hired the best guys to do my new speaker video demo. You can go to KevinTRobertson.com right now and you can check it out.
Okay, I sure will.
And by the way, mine was a little bit over 5 minutes because it was so damn good that I just wanted to leave a little bit more in there.
I like it.
It's just a preference. It's just a preference, but 3 to 5 minutes is really all you need. Did you have any other questions or comments?
Very practical one. How do you take care of your voice? I've had so many bookings last week and I have like 3 keynotes this week. I'm very grateful, don't get me wrong, but my voice is not happy. I'm actually in pain. Like my vocal cord feel a little bit inflamed, and I don't know if you can hear it tonight, probably not because you don't know my voice as much, but it's just not really good. Do you have any tips for that?
Yes, I drink a lot of, well, if your vocal cords are inflamed, it's because, remember, now this is years of going to the ear, nose, and throat doctor. So if you have an issue with your breathing, which I have had sinus infections before, that's why I don't drink milk anymore, because milk used to clog me up. If you have to speak all the time, your air passage needs to be clear. So it also can cause clogging in your ears if you have an issue with your sinuses. You can't, it affects your hearing, your breathing, and it definitely affects your throat. So look at your voice box. Is you have these exterior, your voice may be sore, in interior muscles may be sore, then your neck muscles will get sore right under here, because all your voice is doing like this. It's just vibrating the entire time you're speaking. Your voice is vibrating. So there have been times, and I've lost my voice at least 10 to 15 times over a 36-year career. It is not a good feeling. especially when you know that you have to perform 2-3 more days. You got to crank out 8-hour trainings, half-day programs for 4 hours. The keynotes are easier to get by. So what I would do is this, Charlene, here are my tips for anybody that's struggling with your voice. It simply means you're talking too much. So on Sundays, I have this practice. When my voice gets run down on Sunday, I don't say anything. If I have to say anything, it will be at a whisper or maybe very, very, I'm talking about, I consciously think about not talking. You have to rest. If your voice is really, really strained, which is like you almost are losing it, you need at least 7 to 10 days worth of rest. Drink some ice water, ice chips, because it's swelling happening in the back of your throat. How do you reduce the swelling? Drink some ice water or drink some ice, a Slurpee. Even though a Slurpee or a smoothie or something, it's gonna get sugary and it's gonna be difficult to swallow, which is gonna hurt if your voice is tired. So I would just say ice chips and ice water, a lot of that. And some nice hot tea sometimes too, definitely soothes your throat. But if your vocal cords are inflamed, you need to reduce the swelling. And the way to do that is with ice and rest. So after you finish these 3 keynotes, if I were you, I wouldn't say anything to anybody for at least a couple of days, maybe 2-3 days. You can get a rest, take a rest. Because you can damage your voice if you don't take care of it. It's a tool. You need to understand that. So it's about energy management. Like, listen to this. Your average woman speaks about 25,050 words on average every single day. Males speak about 12,000 to 15,000 words a day on average. Now, women are just more naturally expressive than men, so they talk more. However, if you're in sales or anybody that has a job, doesn't matter what sex you are talking all the time. So why is it that my schedule used to be open from 7 a.m. until midnight every single day 5-6 years ago? It's because I needed to get the repetitions in. I was doing one-on-one coaching and I didn't know any better. So I had to learn how to, now I have less times available on my calendar. I speak less and make more. See, that's the whole key. I'm not interested in speaking a lot anymore. So I charge $50,000 and I make less days available on my calendar. That means that my repetitions are getting cut down to a smaller degree, and I'm only offering my clients a certain amount of time to talk to me in, because the rest of the time I'm resting, not at the ball game screaming and yelling, not at happy hour, I don't like going to loud places because that means I have to talk loud. Somebody says, hey, KTR, let's go in here to eat. The first thing I ask them is it music playing in there? Is it a loud atmosphere? Because I'm not trying to raise my voice. So why strain my voice just so you can hear me at a restaurant? No, you have to be thinking about every single thing when it comes to protecting your voice. No voice means no money, and you have to protect your voice at all costs. Am I making sense?
Yeah. I was smiling, and I just think synchronicity is amazing, because I do like a Shabbat day, of the week, like every weekend I try to take one day where I'm not on my phone, and I think now that's also going to include like a silence day, which I used to do when I was doing Vipassana, and I'm just going to go back into that because I really feel it. Thank you.
I don't sleep. You're welcome. I don't sleep with my phone next to my bed. I don't have these interruptions. When I get in my massage chair at the end of the night, I put my sleep meditation music on. I am about rest, repair, and definitely attacking disease on the cellular level. This is all going to help me improve my performance. This is what all top achievers learn how to do. And people in the speaking industry or sales, please, by all means, Charlene, get your rest. See, I used to leave myself open to talk to everybody. Now I leave myself open to talk to a very select amount of people. I choose who I want to talk to and who I don't want to talk to. And if I don't want to give the energy to you, you're not going to get it. Keep doing what you're doing, Charlene. Send me your speaker video demo. Can't wait to see it. Send me the support ticket so I can send you some updated examples. And you can always go to kevintrobertson.com if you want to see what Netflix level production looks like. Go to and look at my new speaker video demo. My guys just finished it.
Awesome. I actually can't find it. I'm looking for it on the website now. What's the domain?
KevinTRobertson.com, and just go in the second section. You should see it right there. The video should come flying across the screen just like that and stop when it gets to the middle.
Okay, I can't wait. I'm doing this right now. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Lots of love.
Okay, love you much. Talk to you real soon.
Bye.
All right. Okay, Rafa, Davis next. Samantha, you're after that. Okay, Charlene already got with the lower the hand on Charlene. Rafa Escobar. Rafa, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me, Kev?
Escobar Fitness LLC is in the building. What's going on, bro?
Yes, sir. Hold on a second. I got two screens up.
Uh-huh. I can hear you. Denzel, nice to see you again too, bro.
Hey, Kev, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you fine.
Okay, cool. Perfect. I had you on my phone and my computer. That's how locked in I am. Yeah, bro. Anyhow, I'm doing great, man. Thank you for showing up today with the energy that you did. I think that monologue was perfect. It hit me exactly where I'm at. So I've come to you today for some guidance, to give you an update where I'm at and to really get ready for that season that you're talking about. So I want to make sure I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's.
Yes, sir. Let us know how we can help.
Okay, cool. So where I'm at right now, the last time I spoke with you, I needed to get my closing documents done. So I looked at the list of the 8 different documents that you sent me. I have 3 of them complete and the rest are currently under production with a graphic designer. So those will be ready by the end of the week, which now puts me in a position where I believe I'll be ready for the cold calling. I took this last week and went through the sales cycle training again to really get the knowledge and the flow for how it should all happen.
Okay.
And now I'm at the point where I know I need to start actually practicing it, right? And the thing is, though, that as I went through the speaker focus program in the last couple of days, I feel like I just spun out of control and got into a little bit of chaos mode. So what I'm going to give you is kind of my plan for the next 2 weeks on how I plan on managing my time and what I plan on doing in that time to make sure that I can get ready for this season. So I'm going to have about available 4 working hours per day. For 2 of those hours, I plan on focusing specifically on cold calling and the LinkedIn outreach once my closing documents are done. So I can start getting the practice of going through the sales cycle and just getting into it consistently. And then for the following 2 hours, this is where I think I need your guidance, as I see a lot of things on my plate and I'm feeling overwhelmed. I see that I need to manage my social media better because that's the kind of the driver for the speaker focus engine. I also see that I need to finish my VSL. I also see that I need to, my email campaign, I need to set that up before I even start into the second section of the paid advertisement. So I know I have some things ahead. I just want to make sure that I'm utilizing my energy correctly and getting myself ready for this next phase.
Yes, sir.
In terms of like the legal stuff, I have all my legal stuff updated with the right addresses after moving. And I have my accounting all set up on QuickBooks, tracking my expenses and and I set up the Stripe so I can now process transactions.
There you go. There you go.
I have that part of it set up, and I just want to make sure that I move forward as efficiently and powerful as I can.
Okay, let me just jump in here real quick. So obviously, before you get into any paid advertising, you must learn to master the free organic outreach first. Auston has a killer strategy through LinkedIn. And also when you start building up your database and sending out your email, so you can have high open rates. So you've got to learn to master, in other words, work the bugs out before you start spending any money.
Okay.
That's not even an option right now until you get some more repetitions in, and until you're ready to scale it up a little bit more, and you're ready to have Facebook ads start dealing with your retargeting. Let's say you get 1,000, 2,000 names. Obviously, your list is going to get out of control pretty quickly when you're doing outreach on a consistent basis. And now what happens is you don't have time to follow up with 1,000 or 2,000 people. You need the automation to kick in so you can create multiple touch points with those clients through your email outreach. And that's called a auto drip sequence. So you want to let those emails drip out over a period of time, and they will do the follow-up for you instead of you having to get on the phone manually. But that's why you do paid advertising, because all that automation is set up and comes with doing retargeting and things of that nature, even with Google ads and even with YouTube pre-roll ads. So, but the way to go in the beginning, because we want you to be able to start earning revenue and then start seeing some progress first, and then you could take some money and start testing out paid advertising. That's why he has the free section, the organic section, then he has the paid traffic section as well. So with that being said, I just wanted to let you know so you wouldn't get ahead of yourself, number one.
Right.
Two, so if you're at the point where you're walking them through the sales cycle, then tell me what the steps are to the sales cycle, if that's what you've been studying, because these are the things that you need to know. Here's what's important right now. You need to understand when you actually get the prospect on the phone, what are you going to say? Because most people are winging it and they don't know what to say. That's why that script is there. So walk me through the process. The first thing is prospecting. So what are you going to do when you're prospecting? The key is where you're going to get your leads from.
Right. So right now I have a direct mail list. That's
Okay.
the primary source of my leads. And then from there, I've been practicing the LinkedIn outreach. That's the primary two sources of where I'm collecting leads.
Okay.
at the time.
Tell me what you're doing with your LinkedIn outreach. Austin is listening. Tell him what you're doing.
So with my LinkedIn outreach, I'm starting by searching in the Sales Navigator for conference coordinators or meeting and event planners. Then after that, I'll go in there and I'll send them a connection request. And in combination with that, I have my Pipedrive account. So I'm managing the connection requests. And then after that, following up for the first message once the connection is accepted. And that first message is a 40 to 45 second clip of me sharing, connecting with them and sharing what it is that I do and the fact that I want to help them. So that's where I'm at with the LinkedIn outreach. And
Stop, pause. Have you sent that email in to get any type of feedback from Austin?
No, I haven't. Mistake. All of y'all, you don't use Austin enough. Get some eyeballs on it before you put it into the marketplace. I'm just saying. Because all he's gonna do is help you make it better. It may be fire the way it is, but we haven't even seen it. So what I'm sending out right now is the video messages via the messenger. So when you say the email part, when it comes to LinkedIn, what are you referring to?
I understand what you're saying, but we're here to help you approve it all to make sure it's performing at the highest level possible.
I see. Yeah.
So whatever that script is that you're saying, send in the verbiage. Give me an example of what you're sending out, just so we could be able to give you some feedback on it.
I see. Okay. Absolutely. Because I'll be honest, I'm not getting any responses. And after listening to the training, I understand that if I'm not getting responses, it's the messaging. It's not anyone else. So I'll send in the script of what it is that I'm saying to get feedback on that for LinkedIn.
Okay, because bro, sometimes it's as simple as making simple adjustments of how you can get a person to respond to you.
Okay.
And Rafa, again, a lot of times in my experience, what I've seen with speaker marketing is that we're just caught up in some bad habits.
Yeah.
And you still are in that mode of trying to push more instead of offer the value. Now, until I see it, until Austin sees it, I can't make an assessment about, Rafa, you remember we were on a Q&A one time, Rafa, and I said, you told me what your approach was, and I said, wrong.
Yeah.
And I had you modify it, and then you were able to get that into the marketplace, and you were able to make those adjustments and then start getting feedback. Remember, the market dictates what they like and what they don't like. If you're not getting meeting planners on your calendar, it's not their fault. It's because you're not saying something to them that's making them book that call. So we need to analyze what that is. If we don't put eyeballs on it, Rafa, we cannot give you some feedback on it. So just send us whatever it is you're sending, and then let Auston give you some feedback on it so we can take this thing to another level with your messaging. And it may be something really, really small. That's not discouraging. Again, all these little failures, now you're learning what not to do.
Right.
It takes guts. It takes persistency to hang in there and keep going through these processes.
Okay.
Some people don't show up on the Q&A because they don't want to hear me, rain down on their ass because they're making mistakes. I don't care how many mistakes you make. I make mistakes every day. So does Auston. So does anybody who's successful. I don't give a shit about the mistakes. Bro, I'm like a quarterback who threw 4 interceptions in the first quarter. I'm down by 28 points, but it's 7 minutes and 28 seconds left in the game. And it's the fourth quarter. Guess what? I believe that I could come back and win the game 35-28 by 1 touchdown.
Right.
See?
100%.
And I know you have that belief inside you, but a lot of people get to module 5 and they start speedballing.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing and you get into the marketplace, crash and burn. Well, maybe we could eliminate some of the crashes. Maybe we could eliminate your lips getting singed because you keep bumping your head into the wall. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Remember, this is the no judgment zone.
Right.
This is friendly fire, not haters.
Yeah.
So now walk me through the process, Rafa, so I understand. When you actually get the meeting planner on the call, walk me through your prospecting. Because if you watch this, if you can't answer these questions, you're not ready to get on the phone with a meeting planner. And all the rest of you need to be ready for this as well, because Rafa actually has the guts to share and tweak his shit in front of everybody. But you're going to be faced with the same situation. Everybody's balling until they get to module number 5. And that's where it's a separation. And it takes more discipline to start dealing with shit that you're uncomfortable with. And that is sales cycle management, sales funnel management, the script from contact to close, managing a sales cycle. So prospecting is your first step. So you told me where you're going to get your leads from.
Right.
What comes after prospecting?
The approach.
The approach. Okay. So how are you going to approach the meeting planner?
So I'm going to position myself.
What hat are you going to have on?
A consultant.
There you go. Speaker, coach, or consultant. Out of the 3, I'd rather you have the consulting hat on. You know why? Because the speaker is going to mess it up for your ass every single time. The speaker is going to go in hot, especially. That's why I keep telling you all, don't stay motivational speaker mode. Because if you go in hot, like most people, they go right in for the kill. Gary V had a book called, what was it? Jab, hook. And he talked about not throwing a bunch of, hooks to try to knock them out right off the break. Jab them first, then set them up for the knockout. So you're going in as the consultant. Great. So you're prospecting, you know exactly where you're getting your leads from. Right now, you're utilizing LinkedIn for free. You're using Sales Navigator. I'm sorry. That's great. But you don't need Sales Navigator to make this work. But it's good that you have Sales Navigator. No problem. You're investing in your business. And then you're using email marketing. And then also you're utilizing, you bought a list. So that's prospecting. Your approach is the consultant. I'm going in to help. I'm a resource. That's why the verbiage in the script is set up the way it is. What's the next step after your approach?
The needs assessment.
The needs assessment. Selling is not convincing anybody of anything. Selling is listening. You should have a pen in your hand. You should be writing down what they're saying. You can type it, text it to yourself, write it. You are going to listen to everything that they say. And at the very end, you're going to bring your voice almost down to a whisper. You're going to say, okay, Ms. Johnson, I heard you loud and clear. That's very typical of what's going on due to the fallout caused by the pandemic. A lot of my clients are faced with these issues. So let's deal with the first thing you talked about, Ms. Johnson. My signature programs directly address the challenges that you have in the workplace. And I am going to go over each one of her challenges. Rafa, by the way, FYI, after you listen to as much of this shit that I have, it all sounds the same. They're either going to have a management issue, a communication problem, a conflict resolution issue, I hate my supervisor problem. We got a team building issue. Operations is horrible. Sales is down 33.1%. Executives only listen at a level of 42.3%. I could literally keep just hollering out shit, and I could go on and on and on for another year with the kind of challenges that I know what they're gonna say before they even say it, Rafa. So they all are dealing with the same shit. All you have to do now, this is the golden opportunity when you set it up right, but you can't set it up until you listen first. As soon as they finish, Rafa, you want to let them talk until they are emotionally spent, until you say, is that it? Is that everything?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's about it. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes for them to get it all out. Just let them get all the hot air out. Then when it's your turn to step in, bring your vocal tone almost down to a whisper because you really want them to listen. And then you start taking them to school, giving them strategy, value to solve the problem, value for the solution. See, you're giving them solution-based programs all along the way. Now, after you finish with that, then you're going to say, Ms. Johnson, based upon the information that I share with you from my signature programs, do you feel, not do you think, do you feel that this is something that would add extreme value to you and your organization? And then shut the fuck up and don't say nothing. Sit back like this, Rafa. Matter of fact, put your hand over your mouth after you answer the question. Now, some of them, the first one talks, loses. Let them respond to what you just asked them. Now, when you did your job the right way, here's what you're going to hear. Oh my God, Rafa, did it have value? Bro, I got 2 pages of notes. Absolutely have value. Okay, listen, Rafa, let's just cut right to the chase. What is it going to take for us to get you here at our organization? See, when you really did your job and they know what they want, that's going to be your top 20%. They're going to jump right into moving it through to talk about the next step, which is why you downloaded that booking information packet so you could be ready to send it over to them when somebody says, yes, Rafa, you know what I said at the opening monologue about preparing for the next season?
Yeah.
Because you got those documents together now and you got your Stripe account set up and you built out the infrastructure to your speaker business. Now you're ready to talk money. But let's back up a little bit. Once they said, oh my God, I got the value. What's the first word out of your mouth after they said they got the value and then they told you some of the stuff that they learned from what you told them from your signature programs? What is the first word that the script says that you need to say out your mouth?
Great.
There you go, brother. God damn it, this ain't textbook. I hope y'all are listening and paying attention. I hope that you're listening because Rafa, he understands the steps. Do you? Because if you don't understand these steps, one by one, there's no cutting corners when it comes to managing the sales cycle. I take my clients through the exact same formula every single time when I have them on the phone. That's speaking and coaching and a consulting client. So it's great, Rafa. And then tell me what you say after the word great.
Ms. Johnson, with your permission, I would like to get your email address so I can send you some information that you and your committee members can take under consideration.
Did I ask her for the booking?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Am I in broke, begging, or desperation mode? Please, this is why you need to hire me. Come on, we just need to get to the check right now. Come on, I need to put some money in the bank. Did I do that?
No.
I just asked them with your permission. I'll go ahead and send you over the email address, because if you got them in your CRM already, that means that you have their email address. You can just confirm it, call out all the letters, or if they give you an email address, no, send it to a different email. Okay, no problem. I got a pen in my hand. What's that email address again? That's j.johnson@ibm.com. Is that correct? Let me spell that out. Is that j.johnson@ibm, like ibmcomputers.com? Is that correct? You just want to give yes or no? Okay, great. Now, what do you do after that, Rafa? What's next?
Explain what you're sending her, how to engage the documents, the link to the website, and the link to your speaker info kit, and the link to your speaker video demo.
That's right. Don't just send it to her. Tell her what you're sending. And I always put a nice little bow on the end of it. I say, Miss Johnson, I'm going to be sending you over my speaker video demo website. If you hadn't already visited the website, the speaker info kit, and there's a couple other links in there. You can follow me on my social media. That's going to answer every question that you and your committee members may have. And then what comes next, Rafa?
You put a system of accountability in place. So you ask Ms. Johnson, would Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern work, or Tuesday? Give her two options. I want to get your opinion about the materials I'm sending.
Now, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to hold her accountable? Because I don't want them blowing me off. And if you don't set up a date for the follow-up, they're just going to forget about you.
Right.
So that's why you want to ask them, would 2 p.m. on Friday the 25th work for you? Make sure you get the time zone, because your speaker business is global. You could be talking to somebody from Dubai. Get the time zone correct. Are you on Eastern time, Pacific, Mountain? I need to understand. So after that, you put a push pin on the calendar, you set it up on the calendar, and then as soon as you get back on the phone, you go to the second stage. The last stage is, if they say no, Ms. Johnson, would it be okay to stay in contact with you and perhaps maybe, send you up, have you on my email list and maybe reach out periodically? Oh, sure, Rafa, that's what we were thinking about. We do meetings like 4 times a year. Oh, that would be great, Ms. Johnson. Well, listen, if something comes up where you feel I'd be a great fit for, please keep me in mind. Other than that, let me know what I could do for you to help your leadership initiatives and your fitness goals. I'm always here. Thanks, Rafa, appreciate it. Thanks, Ms. Johnson. That's what it looks like if you don't get the gig. You win either way. I don't want to see a droopy face. Oh, I'm so depressed because they told me no. No, it just means no, not right now. It doesn't mean no forever. Remember, Pittsburgh Steelers, Heinz Field, NFL told me no 3 years in a row. But the last time they said yes, and the rest is history.
Oof.
Now, so how bad do you want it? It's a long game. You got to be patient. Then if they say yes, Rafa, it also has this in the script as well. If you don't know this process, I suggest you go back to August 22nd, 2022, around an hour and 48 minutes into the Q&A, or 12 minutes to 7 Eastern. I suggest you go back and listen to the entire sequence that I just been through with Rafa, because if you don't understand how to walk the meeting planner through the sales cycle, if you haven't had it memorized, and I don't give a damn if Rafa got the script in front of him or not, the bottom line is he knows what the next step is. Do you? Because I'm going to be on your ass the same exact way, whether or not you send in a support ticket or whether or not you got the balls of guts enough to get on the Q&A and share. Rafa, by the way, sharing is caring. And every single time you do this, you make this platform that much better. So we thank you.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure, man.
It's not, no doubt. It's not easy to sit there and take this rapid fire from KTR, but you got a full metal jacket on and you got your little military helmet on. So I appreciate you. I hear it. Keep. You're taking that shrapnel.
Flat out.
Hey, bro, let me tell you, fire in the hole.
Flat out. my jaw stiff, my neck, but I'm in here, bro. I'm learning.
That's why you're a high fee speaker, bro, because you're not afraid to do the work. So now, all right. So after that, the next stage is, if they say yes, then you're going to start getting into the technical parts of them issuing you a purchase order, you
Right.
getting the details about the engagement, you sending them over the speaker negotiating menu, you sending them over the speaker engagement agreement, also the meeting planner pre-program questionnaire. You're going to start the process of all of that.
Okay, I had a question on the speaker menu. Do you send that every time with everyone, or is it with people who you get in a negotiation with?
That's a great question. Maybe you don't need the speaker negotiating menu every single time. That's only if you want 5,000 or 7,500 or the 10,000, and they have less money than what you requested, and then you have to go into negotiation with them, and you're losing the value. You're going to reinvest that revenue, but they're going to give you something for equal value, so you're not walking away with nothing.
I see. Okay, so then
no, go ahead.
I was going to ask, when you transition, when they say yes, right? It would take, as I put myself into that position, every ounce of me to contain my excitement, right? So as you move forward into the process, what's the first step? Is it collecting the actual money? Is it the signing the contract? How does that part of it usually flow after they
remember,
say yes?
Contract sounds like they're into something that they can't get out of. A better word in sales for contract is agreement. Okay.
Great.
That document is called the speaker engagement agreement, not the speaker contract. Always refer to it as an agreement, not a contract. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
This verbiage helps you with closing. All right.
Yes, now, definitely.
So the first thing I would do is remember, how do you know it's real? They have a date to offer you, they have a venue, and they have a budget. They've said, yes, Rafa, well, we've already went over the fees. No problem. You want the 10,000 for a full day program. We want you to do 4 hours worth of leadership training, and we want you to do a boot camp on fitness for the other 4 hours. Okay, you got 10 grand down there plus expenses. No problem. We can handle that. Okay, no problem, Ms. Johnson. Well, the first thing I need to do is I need to get the details over to you in the speaker engagement agreement. And then what is the process for your purchase order to get started? So she's going to say, I got to call up accounting, or I got to call up one of my other managers, and they're going to initiate creating a purchase order so you can get paid. And that's a 50% non-refundable deposit up front to secure the date on the calendar. Do not hold dates for anybody. This is not Macy's where, oh, hey, I left my credit card in the car. Hold this, go shopping for an hour and I'm going to come back. That's not what this is. I'm not holding anything for anybody. If you have my $25,000 for my deposit, then you can get that date taken off the calendar. And then I get the other half of my fee before I even speak. And that's right there in the verbiage in the speaker engagement agreement. See, while everybody else is trying to locate their check, I already got mine in my breast pocket, and I'm sitting down chilling at the banquet table, eating some glazed braised chicken, right? And everybody else is worried about how they getting paid. I'm already paid because I know how to handle business the right way. I'm not speaking one word until I get the other portion of my money anyway. If you don't take care of business the right way, then they'll play games with you. You're not playing with my money. I work too hard for what I do. Now, so that's the process of managing the sales cycle. So Rafa, you're in the game, bro. Like, you understand what's supposed to happen.
Right.
You've gotten training. You've been training on your own. David and Samantha, thank you so much for your patience. I'll be right with you. I'm almost finished up with Rafa. I'm so happy when people ask these kind of questions, because I know everybody else is thinking it. They're just not asking the questions. But you're going to get to the point where Rafa is, where he's going to get a breakthrough. Like, I can feel it. You don't get to where he is without working hard. Now, if you're not asking yourself these questions, and you're not in module 5 and you're ready to start doing outreach, it's because you haven't done the work. Whose fault is that? Because I can get you there. I don't make promises. We don't have a service promise at speakerfocus.com. I got fucking guarantees. I guarantee if your ass do the work, you're going to get the results. because you're not short on help. That's for damn sure. Rafa, you have any other questions or comments?
No, as I take it, I just want to sum it up with this. I want to be clear that my direction as I move forward is to stay in this game, to continue to master managing the sales cycle, and to focus on the free advertisement so that I can master the messaging and learn what the market actually wants to hear, and then bring that energy into the paid advertising.
Correct. Right? And that's called free outreach, free organic outreach, what you want to focus on right now.
Yeah, and I've learned today the importance of using the right words too. It matters.
Absolutely. Remember, contract is too much friction. Agreement?
Right.
Oh, we both agree. Yeah, you have my money, and I provide the service. See, it's even in agreement. All right.
Love it. All right, perfect. Thank you. I needed that, KTR. Appreciate you.
Love you, bro. Kiss the baby and Amy for me. And listen, I love the video that you put up with the baby dunking the basketball. That shit was fire, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. Love you, bro.
Hey, man. Talk to you soon. All right, peace.
All right, later.
All right. I love it. You want to go hard? Let's go hard. David Ander, you're up next on The Price is Right.
Hey, KTR, how are you doing?
David, what's up, baby? How you feeling?
I'm feeling. Finally got over about a week of being sick, but no excuses here. I'm working on it.
Well, that's what's up. I'm glad you're back. We need you in the game, brother. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better.
However, I do feel a little bit beat up every time I send in an assignment and you send it back to me.
Yeah, I know. That's normal. That's normal. Now, I'm glad that you called in today. If you have questions about your messaging, no problem. We can fix it. I believe what you're doing is just maybe overthinking a little bit, but let me back up first. You may have another question or something, and we can address the messaging later. What would you like to share?
Well, I redid the mainstay headlines. I redid the 4 signature programs, and I redid the 3 bullet points and the 5 bullet points of the what they're going to learn.
Right.
I shortened them up. I took out the redundancy in the words that you had brought to my attention, and I tried to condense a lot of it into more power words and less fluff, as you would say.
Yes.
And I sent that in today. I got the email. I sat down at my computer and redid it. Got it sent back into you today. I don't know if you had received that yet or not.
Oh, I saw the ticket come in, and I figured you either replied to what I sent to you or you had some updates for me. So that's good. You turned that around rather fast, because I think I sent you. Yeah, that was yesterday. I replied to some support tickets yesterday in the evening on my downtime. So yeah, okay. So yeah, the reason why I gave you the comments that I did, because I believe the part that you're missing, David, is you weren't capturing the very essence of who you are, and you were just having to say too much. So I believe that the core of what I know you wanted to say was there, and that's why I sent it back over to you, and that's why I gave you the recommended mainstay headline that I gave you, and then I took you only need 3 words to describe your signature programs. All that, like it's all about the little stuff. That's what you should make as your core pivot into anchoring your signature programs. But that's not the best marketing language to use to get the meeting planner's attention. And that's the only reason why I keep doing the edits and hacking it the way I am, because I'm trying to get you to understand that the things that you should be focusing on was the excellence, was the leadership, was the this, was the that, the action, and all of that kind of stuff. You had the words there, you just weren't putting them in the right area.
Right. And I did change out a bunch of that, and I did take out a lot of the words that came across as just, I call them filler words, kind of to extend stuff, but I really kind of condensed it, condensed stuff into confidence, strengthening, empowering, the words that are going to grab people's attention.
Absolutely.
And so hopefully when I redid this and sent this back to you, you'll take a look at it and see what I need to even do more of, or maybe you'll just say, hey, I'm finally catching on.
Exactly. And you know what? And that's exactly what happens, David. So I don't want you to get discouraged about it, because at the end of the day, what we're looking for is, we want obviously to take your ideology, your approach to leadership, and we want to get that to the meeting planner and speak to them in terms that they understand. That's the whole goal of the messaging. And you're not the only one that's struggling. This is why we jump into this right off the break, because it's so important. You are literally, you are putting your future, excuse me, putting the future of your speaker business on the line by laying the foundation through your messaging. And if it's done wrong, then the whole rest of your career is going to go wrong. When it's done right, now we have something to build off of. And that's the reason why I'm here, to make sure that it's done right. And I'm glad that you have the right kind of attitude about it. It is. It's not, if I see it's being done wrong, it's because sometimes what we do is students will speedball past the instructions. And the way the opening paragraphs have a flow, like watch this. This is how your opening paragraph should read. Now, they were a little flat when you sent it over to me because you just had a bunch of filler words in there. So how it should read is this educational and informational based program is designed to do ... In this session, what you're going to learn also is how to become a better leader in the kitchen. And then also too, you can, your staff will be empowered. You're going to learn more techniques about how to do ... after this life-changing presentation. That's how your opening paragraph should feel, and it's speaking directly to the meeting planner. Now, the word redundancies, when you learn how to do ... you can't start every sentence off. You have to start it out with discover how to. Learn more techniques on, that's all you have to do. Start it out differently, but then give the value. The value is always found in the bullets, and the opening paragraphs should have some kind of flow. So if you went back and you tighten up the opening paragraphs and the bullets, and you made those few changes, what I'll do is I'll go back in and look at it this time. You'll either get a response from me. I doubt if it's going to be tonight, because after the Q&A, I'm probably not going to have the energy. So early tomorrow morning, I'll jump on it and I'll give you some feedback, and then we can go from there. You're not far off. You just are overthinking it. And David, I'm gonna leave it with this. When you talk to me, when you and I have a conversation on the Q&A, or when you talk about your business, that's the value that needs to be written. So let's just say, I know you know what you're talking about. It just doesn't come out that way when you write it. And what we need to do is we need to get it matching the voice and confidence you have in your experience in your industry. Once we get the words to match with that, it's over.
Right. And that's always been the difficult part for me, is to take what I know, what I can speak, how I can say it, and put it actually on the paper and into words. Now, if I just had something I could talk to and it would type it all out for me, I'd be golden.
Yeah.
But if I have to actually put it into words myself, it makes it a little more difficult. And I do appreciate all the feedback and the constructive criticism that, you and your team give me. It's been a long time since I've been to school.
Yeah. A lot of people say that. Yeah, they haven't had to, it's intense, and the messaging is intense, but we want it right, because I know it's going to make you money. So I'll take a look at your support ticket, and then I'll give you a response. Did you have any other questions or comments you wanted to share?
Yeah, just one real quick here. Is it too early to start working on a website?
I would say if you have all the content, then no. In module 2, we cover what content needs to go on the website. There is a speaker info kit checklist.
Yep, I have that.
Yeah, there's a website checklist. So, and also, if you want to know how to put together your speaker video demo, send me a support ticket, and I'll send you the students on our platform who are absolutely crushing it. I'll send you 10 examples of websites and speaker info kits and speaker video demos that will absolutely inspire you and show you exactly what you're supposed to do. They follow the blueprint just like you're doing, and all you have to do is produce the content. It's never too early to start working on building the website or the sales tools, but I would say finish up your messaging first. I already approved your bio, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, so now all we need to do is get your signature programs complete, and you're good to go.
Okay, good.
Just a little bit more patience, David. And when I send you over these changes, then we should almost be there. When you say when you see approved, that means
Yep.
that verbiage matches what I know you can do as a speaker when you verbalize it, and we're gonna get you there. You're not that far away. All right.
Awesome. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, boss. Love you, man. Talk to you real soon.
Yep.
All right, man. Peace. All right, let's see. We got Samantha Mitchell is up next. Hey, Sam, talk to me.
Happy Monday.
Happy.
All right, so it's ironic that today's message is about harvest because that's been a recurring theme. And interestingly enough, I heard a message today and I'll share real quick with everyone because like I know I'm in the season of planting, and like outside of the planting, I think like sometimes we get blindsided and we get to the harvest season and we think at harvest time that we show up and receive the things that we planted, not recognizing that harvest season is also work as well, and that the timing is really important. Because when all of the things are harvested, you've got to get them. Otherwise, the bugs and the insects and the whatever that are out there will attack them. So you got to be so stitched up that when it is time that you're absolutely ready to execute. All right.
Absolutely.
So I'm executing, but I think I'm in my head. So my question is, so for instance, like with the tagline, your tagline is America's leading focus expert.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe it's in a different module, but I'm assuming it's in module 1, because like as I was building out my website, I was like, what's mine? And I went back through and I don't really have one that ties in with me. And I was trying to figure out, did I miss it? or is that somewhere else after module 1?
Well, yeah, creating those kind of those headlines, topics, titles, and descriptions, those type of branding slogans and things of that nature, that is in there. I don't spend a lot of time on it. I do touch on it. It's important to understand that the branding all matches with the titles to your signature programs. See, if I'm going to be America's leading focus expert, then what comes right after that is, well, one of my taglines is Kevin T. Robertson, magnifying success in your personal and professional vision. See, so everything has to do with organizing their focus, making sure they see things clear. That's why I always say, see it and then say it. So that's why I always, when I'm doing my keynotes, I always relate something to vision, you know, how the eye is able to see, how vision, you know, allows you to see. You don't necessarily need your eyes to be able to see. So anything that has to do with focus and vision and internal focus and things of that nature, I'm making my business to study and learn everything from that perspective, because it reinforces my brand and it makes it that much more difficult for anybody to steal from me, to think that they're going to present the same way I present. And that's the reason why I do that, Sam, and do all this research. And so it's a lot of people that talk about focus. There's a lot of, somebody's wrote a book called The Power of Focus. There's a lot of people, I had a tagline that says, stay focused on your goals and dreams. There's plenty of people that have borrowed that from me over the years, and they put it on the shirt. I don't even mind that, but they don't talk about the peregrine falcon is capable of seeing the distances up to 2 to 5 miles like the bald eagle. Hawks have incredible vision, right? Their eyesight allows them, they have binocular eyesight. It allows them to see like farther than any other bird on planet Earth. So I go to those kind of extremes and I do research on stuff like that to make sure that no other speaker on planet Earth, if you're going to come in here and start talking about focus as it relates to goals and leadership, please, they don't even think about it because they're not as well versed. That's the reason why I come up with the slogans the way I do that match with the brand. KTR, America's leading focus expert. What do? Magnify success in your personal and professional vision. I teach leadership strategies that magnify success. Does it make sense, Sam?
Yeah, it is.
And it's in there. It's in your brand. See, Sam, it's in that fitness brand and it's in that aviation the aviation in it's in there somewhere. I mean, I'm not gonna be surprised one day you jump out on stage calling yourself the queen of aviation or the aviation something, the aviation goddess. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's in there. Now it's your job to just put together a nice little tagline that complements your vision about who you want to be as a speaker, because what that does is it creates separation away from any other woman speaker on planet Earth, and it creates market differentiation. Now, the only way you're going to achieve either one of those is brand. And Sam, you got brand. I'm talking about your brand is super strong. So a tagline, all you got to do is just let it sit for a minute, and it's going to come to you. You're going to say, okay, I got that tagline. Just like how you got that logo and how that just came out of nowhere. That tagline is going to, oh, damn, I'm America's leading focus expert. Shit, that's it. See, effective communication, Sam, it should feel good and it should sound good. Let it represent the very best of who you are, and then share it with the world.
Okay, I'll keep chewing on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then my next question is, so relative to LinkedIn, so is there specific LinkedIn-y kind of content? I know, I think like as far as content, when we're on Instagram or any of the other platforms, it hits different. But I think for those of us who are professionals still, we're thinking that it's gotta be like a certain way. Like I couldn't show up on LinkedIn in what I have on now. Like I gotta show up like how I would show up at work. So what are your thoughts on that?
LinkedIn is definitely the more professional platform out of all of them. I'll be honest with you, I figured out a way to get more comfortable posting on my social media. I can post the same picture across multiple platforms, and for some reason it works for me. LinkedIn will give you the most free organic outreach than any platform out there right now. Facebook used to do it in the beginning around 2007, 2008. Then the paid advertising really started coming on real strong around 2010, 2011. I mean, bro, they were just making a killing because they wanted you to start paying for that attention. But Austin has a document that Gary Vaynerchuk, short for Gary V, and Gary V, Austin has Gary V produces how to produce 64 pieces of content every day. So what he does is he catches you on YouTube with the same message, but he maybe will make an edit on it differently for that particular audience. Now, mind you, Gary V has a team of probably, 10 or 15 people on his pre and post-production goals, following him around 24 hours a day with a camera. They're always doing editing. They're always taking sound bites and snippets from something to repurpose it to make it work for, let's say, TikTok will have a different impact because the audience is different. LinkedIn is going to have a more robust professional appeal. Now, I've learned that I can get away with my cap and a sports shirt on like this, or I can get away with having some gear on with a Scully on, but it's the message that I send. The text is really what gets them. The picture is inconsequential. It's more of what I'm saying. And sometimes I put a picture in there with what I got a suit on. So I'm looking for, but I don't have to be professional. And we live in a world now where you can get away with that, Samantha. You can show up with your fitness gear on. It's the message that you have. See, most people post for the big flex. They just post content so they can flex on somebody. Oh, I got a Gucci bag. Oh, I got a Gucci belt. Oh, I'm in an Aston Martin. Oh, I live in a big house. Good for you. Well, every piece of content that you post should deliver value. And if any of you want a free lesson, because I did not create the system, but I was taught how to master it. And Austin taught me, and a lot of mentors that we're tied into taught us as well. If you want a free education, all you got to do is just go back over the posts on my social media and watch what I say and how I say it. It strikes some kind of nerve. It's well written. I've learned to do that to get the message across to people who want to learn the speaking industry. And I cut through just like the way I talk. That's the way I write. It's very thought-provoking. It's disruptive. So You can hit people and catch them in a different way and let them see the very best of you across different platforms. You just got to be able to catch them at the right time throughout the day when you can get eyeballs on your brand. And TikTok and LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Google ads are all different. So just make sure that when you're posting content that you're adding value. Remember, Sam, last but not least, we're in the information marketing era. Most speakers do not know how to post valuable content through their social media strategies. They don't understand that they control the narrative for free. Through this, I can post and I can control the messaging of what I want you to believe about my brand. Samantha, marketing, and Madison Avenue has taught us this. Marketing is me making you believe what I want you to believe. And we manipulate the psychology of consumer behavior through pictures, video, text, what kind of context that your copy is in, and also some sort of infographic that gets the messaging across. You can really do a great job of that through pictures and video. And my God, video will 10x your reach. People consume more video than they do pictures. It's a fact. So if I were you, I would be dropping videos about aviation, about your experience, about your struggles. It can be inspiring, but the main thing it needs to be is educational. Whoever's looking at it, are they going to understand? Are they going to be learning something? Are you going to help them achieve their desired outcomes? Are you going to help them achieve their learning objectives? Are they going to take something away to say, damn, every time I check out Samantha Mitchell, she's always taking me to school. Wait a minute, isn't that the chick with the dope haircut that's like really, really in shape? And she's one of the few women of color in the aviation industry. Yeah, that's her. See, that's how you get people start talking about you, Sam, because you aren't afraid to be who you are. But you got to start ramping up your marketing efforts for free through your phone. Is it making sense to you what I'm saying?
It is. I just got to sit down and outline what all that content looks like. Cause like, I think for me, I'm over analyzing it, because what I do at work and converting that into how it adds value to people, I'm not there, to be honest.
Okay, Sam, let's snatch those words. I'm not, I can't, I will not be. We don't speak like that around here, Samantha. I am going to produce content. I am valuable. I do know how to do this. I'm learning from KTR right now. Okay, Samantha, you want this? You want a small lesson real quick? Stop overthinking it. Just pick up your phone and start documenting. See, this is what Gary Vee talks about. There's too many people that are, oh, I need to make sure the lighting's right. Fuck this lighting. Okay, Sam, you want to know what it looks like when the lighting is not really good? Watch this. This is underproduced content. But it doesn't matter what the picture looks like right now. It's what's coming out of my mouth. As long as I'm delivering value, then now that's just because I got studio lighting in here. So it looks great, but it doesn't have to be overproduced. Now, I'd say put forth your best effort, obviously, and produce content that doesn't have horrible lighting because it's just more visually appealing. But you don't have to sit back and think about it. Samantha, don't tell me that you can't hit the button and you can't just drop some content about, you know what, everybody, something's been on my mind since the pandemic has started. And I often wonder how I'm able to get up every single day and manage my energy as a fitness professional. You know what? I'm going to tell you how I do it. I don't even have it all the way figured out, but I got 2 tips for you today that does allow me to get through the rough days, and then just talk to them about how when your shit is broke down and raggedy, how you make it through. What's wrong with that? That's an organic, real piece of content. Speak to the very part of your audience who wants you so bad to keep it real. See, this is the shit that pisses me off when it comes to business professionals. All of us have all this education and we got all this skill, but sometimes we just don't want to show the most simplistic part of us that works. Sam, there was a time Well, I would not post any content on LinkedIn if I didn't have a suit on, because I said, oh, LinkedIn is so professional. Fuck professionalism sometimes. Sometimes you just need to, I'm in a t-shirt and a cap, but I got a message and I got to get this out of me right now. I don't give a damn what I got on. So when we get past that, see, when we get past how it looks, people are too worried about how it looks versus the quality of the content. All you got to do is keep that shit 1,000 and you will be head and shoulders above everybody else, because most people won't even pick up their damn phone and start dropping videos left and right because they too busy worrying about the production quality and how it looks. Focus on what you're saying. Focus on what you're going to be teaching. Focus on the value and figure the shit out. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year down the line, you're going to be better than when you start dropping videos. I know I am. And just because I figured it out without overanalyzing it, because Sam, perfectionism wears you down and it's tiring. Overanalyzing shit is tiring. It requires too much energy. And the rest of you out there suffering from perfectionism, you know who you are, holding on to your homework assignments because you're trying to change it 10 times before you get some feedback because you're afraid of what I'm going to say. You need to send that shit over here and get some real feedback so you can know what direction you're going in and stop worrying about, Sam, we all get in our own way. I've done it before too. It's too tiring. Perfectionism simply requires too much energy. Just let it come out. Whatever you have on the inside, Sam, it should come out on the outside. Stop overthinking and start documenting. Do you understand?
I do. So should I plan out my documenting though?
You know what?
Like strategy. Like, I mean, because you can't have it too much. So like maybe like take flight Fridays as my okay.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so now you can do that with a level of consistency, and you don't have to trip if you miss a Friday. No big deal. But I have KTR's daily focus fact. I've done KTR's executive focus. I've done all kinds of things relating to focus on special days. And I will give it a name of the day. I call it, Tantalizing Tuesday. I mean, I've done a KTR karaoke Friday. I've done all kinds of stuff. So it all depends on what you really want to share. And then just make sure that you have a theme to the post. If you look at anything I post on social media, I always have a theme. Just like at the beginning monologue, my theme was time to reap the harvest. You got to put the work in, and then the season will come where you're going to be ready. That theme just popped into my head literally right there on the spot of what I had on my heart about what I wanted to say. And I just let it out. I don't expect for it to come out perfect. I just need to get it out. And that's called pushing out content at scale. You have to get out more content. And that's including me. So a strategy would be, watch this, Sam. I have like 20 different segments. And I learned this by hosting a radio and a television show and podcasts coming up in the future. So each segment of my show, I would give it a title, like the entertainment news segment, or this time for KTR's focus fact, or it's time for KTR's executive focus. It's time for KTR's celebrity focus, when I would interview the celebrity. So I have like maybe 10 or 20 areas that I'm looking to post. Sometimes I have, now watch this. Then I say, okay, what am I missing? Okay, it's been a while since I posted something with a suit on. Okay, so Monday is my shave day, Sam. I got really sensitive skin. I do not like shaving. So I only shave on Monday for the Q&A. Some days I don't feel like shaving. And you know what I think to myself? Oh, you know what? Maybe a lot of people never really seen me with my salt and pepper gray coming in, and it's to look a little stubbly. So I'm like, okay, guess what? I'm going to produce some content that's going to let me look a little scruffy, because I don't have content like that. I don't have that, fuck it, I'm not going to shave. But now I'm starting to get more comfortable producing content like that. I say, you know what? I haven't worn my Speaker Focus cap and shirt in a while. I feel like I'm going to wear my speaker because I haven't worn it in a while. That's why you see me with it on today. Okay, let me go down to the beach. I haven't taken a walk at the beach for a while. Drop the video. Let me do that. Let me do it from the mall. Let me do it from the store. Let me do it while I'm at the airport. I can get content anywhere. And what I have on is secondary. But I don't operate like every other speaker, Samantha. I operate like a celebrity because I have that kind of brand. I'm an entertainer first and an entrepreneur and a talk show host and a speaker. All that other stuff is set. I've been performing since I've been 5 years old. So you typically don't see an entertainer with the same thing. They definitely don't do a photo shoot in the same thing. You never see them in the same clothes.
Right.
Oh, this is a tax write-off. So I got all kinds of colors and stuff coming up, some KTR gear coming up, some more speaker focus stuff. Because I want to keep my image fresh. Because what are you doing when it comes to content? Feeding the machine. You got to keep feeding the machine. So for me to be seen with the same thing on every single day, when I got the kind of image that I do, I mean, come on, Sam, look at all them pictures behind me. Red vest, black vest, purple jacket, red tie, bow tie. I mean, come on, man. I'm looking for different. Because anybody that even think about trying to be me, they better wake up and get another dream. See, I make it difficult on the imposters, just like you. Okay, I'd like to see some women of color in aviation pull off what you're doing right now. I just want to see them try it. Now, you're going to be even more dangerous when you get out of your way and stop overanalyzing. You're beautiful. I accept you who you are, and the world will as well. All you got to do is, watch this, create 5 to 10 categories of, okay, this is going to be Samantha's Flight Friday, whatever that thing is you said, and create 9 other categories and start posting content under those categories. Videos, no more than 10 minutes, because LinkedIn has a restriction on the videos you can produce. If your video is over 10 minutes, you can't post it. You got it?
Got it.
And then just start posting videos. Start doing short form or long form posts. You could do a quick selfie. Oh, I like the way I looked in that with the shades on. You know what? What am I thinking about this picture? You know what? This picture's making me think of, and then put the title to the picture up there and then share your thoughts. Short form posts, you can just write some text, or long form posts. On Instagram, you realize that all these platforms have a character restriction. So make sure you post enough in there and then put a picture up with it or keep dropping some videos. And then say, hey, KTR, I've been posting some new content. Check it out on my social media. And then let me give you some feedback on what I think it is. And then integrate, Sam, between the fitness and the aviation and the leadership. There's some stuff in there about helping the meeting planner. See, my new website is going to be leadership-centric and meeting planner friendly. I'm going to do some stuff in this industry that's going to shake it upside down. I am all down for the meeting planner and helping them reduce stress, do their job better, create strategic partnerships, and help them look like rock stars at their event. And no other speaker is really focused on the meeting planner, not the way I'm getting ready to do it. And I'm doing it for a reason, because everybody is celebrating themselves, but I want to celebrate the meeting planner. See, I'm here to serve at the highest level possible. Now I'm going to demonstrate that through my content. So Sam, I'm not afraid to make mistakes through my content. I just want to document. If a couple of hiccups and mistakes get in there, fuck it, so be it. Everybody knows what the core messaging it is, and they're going to get it at the end. So if you go back and look at the way I post that way for a reason. And people get tired of looking at the same shit. So you could do yourself a favor, everyone, and change your look up every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you start seeing me wear the hats, right? The full brim hats, the Stetson hats, the fedora hats. And I start switching it up, wearing eyewear has become a different part. I said, oh, you know what? I like glasses. I didn't really like glasses before, but I started getting all these different color glasses. I started to incorporate things because I want to try something different, and I'm not afraid to try it. So I suggest you all do the same. Push out content at scale. Stop overanalyzing the document. Any other questions or comments, Sam?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome. Love you much, Sam. Keep your head down, stay focused, and keep going hard. Rico McElroy, talk to me, Rico. This should be good.
KTR.
Rico, my long lost brother. Rico, I feel like I haven't talked to you in months, man. What's going on? Rico, by the way, I know you've been working hard, brother. I said he didn't disappear. I said, but I know when he comes back. Hey, Rico, I heard you got some business popping, brother. Talk to me.
Hey, just keeping it active, staying out in front. Yes, I've not made a couple of adjustments when you make the calls. Yes, I had to go on LinkedIn to do calls with directors, director of associations, and some of them I find that they're okay, they're good. But then I've learned a different strategy. Now I've been doing radio interviews, and I find that I love those a lot better. Because it makes it's easier for me to market that way and point them, to the website. These last 2 weeks, had a few interview Monday, this past Monday. Lady, ICU Media, and that was, of course, definitely about the book, but at the same time, it was about wanting to learn more about your why, identity leadership. And that was very fun because one question she asked, boss, was this leadership something that's born or or something you work at?
Yeah.
And my response was really, I think it's both. Because it's unfortunate that we have a lot of talented and untrained leaders. And that's one of the key points that we brought out, and why it's important to know that you can be gifted. But if you're gifted and not really trained, you can abuse the gift. And so it was powerful. That was very impactful on that particular one. Then I sent you the one with the testimonial with Chris Salem.
Hey, Chris gave you an outstanding testimonial. Remember this, Rico, when we send the message out, and we don't get the answer or feedback we thought we were supposed to hear, it's because our messaging was horrible. Yeah. Clearly, your messaging is on point, because what the testimony that Chris gave you, he clearly understood your brand. He listened to how you helped him achieve his learning objectives, and you helped him get to a different desired outcome. You gave him some takeaways. You couldn't ask for a more professional and more supportive testimonial that he gave you in that video. And that lets me know that, see, if he didn't know identity-based leadership, if he didn't understand that you have a system and a mechanism and you a real teacher and a facilitator, if he didn't know that about you, he could not speak that way about you.
Right.
And that's the reason why I say I cannot wait to talk to him. Man, I was smiling the whole time. Because that's the kind of impact that you're having on people with your messaging. David and anybody on the platform struggling with your messaging right now, you're going to thank me. And believe me, I get enough accolades and pats on the back every single day. I don't need any more. And I'm not trying to be right here, but you're going to thank me of how, I know you feel like it's an androgynous task and it's backbreaking, but you're going to thank me when it's done right. Because when you start shining and you get into the marketplace like Rico, and they start dissecting every single word, when it's dripping with value, you're going to get the kind of testimony that Chris just gave for Rico. Rico, that's one of the best testimonials I've ever seen in my life, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like Chris just spoke from his heart. That wasn't no script. He just laid it down about what he feels about you. And it was all glowing reviews. Congratulations on your success. Keep your head down and keep working. Rico, you know you about to put another $50,000 on the table before the year is out, right?
Yes, sir. And let me tell you.
No, seriously. Do you know it like I know
it? Yes, sir. You tell me that.
For 2023, you're gonna close about $50,000. That's what you got on it. Well, you probably got a little bit more than that on the table. But by the time attrition hits your leads and the way you're flowing right now, you're gonna book about $50K, and you're gonna have some stuff at the top of the year waiting for you as well.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Because you're doing all the steps, bro. Believe me, I see the activity. What I always say, Rico, activity equals productivity.
And you know what though? I gotta share this too. And I hope this helps people. Sometimes it's in the process that's so important, because sometimes I would equate it. Yes, I know what the result is. Yes, to close the deal and have the dollar amount. I get that. But what I'm finding is in the process is I'm becoming stronger. I'm becoming so that, yes, whether or not it does come, I know that even the activity is consistent. And I could share this too for the people who are kind of frustrated when you tell them to go back and make adjustments. Let me tell you how important it is. Let me testify to you about that, because the interview we just did this past Monday, she actually knew me before on going on there, because they've known me locally playing music and stuff like that. But now what she did was I gave her the website for her to check out. She went and scrutinized that website and dissected those signature programs. That's and right. those questions that she asked, she was enamored, like really, from what was on that website. Yeah. So the point I'm making is to encourage people here. Once you get the content clear, that's the most important. That's probably the hardest part. But once you get that messaging down, shoot, it's easier to really to do your website or put it together, because now you have a message that's consistent, that's clear. And I will say this too, that speaker video, I did want to share, you saw that speaker video. Finally, it was done. And I'm telling you, the process, that's where new habits are built. That it's got to be consistent. And I'm just saying, for me, I know it's easy to want to get into a program like this and like speed through it, because I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to do it like actually 6 weeks, because that's what it says. But I'm glad that there were some things on the inside of me that had to come forth. And so it was definitely worth it. And I'll say this one last thing here. I don't know if you know this person, but I just ran across one other person. We were scheduled to do a LinkedIn Live. He was going to do a LinkedIn Live. He just got appointed as, I think, one of the board members at the Houston NSA, National Speakers Association. So we've been dialoguing back and forth. So he's like, hey, man, look, I want to reset another date, because I really want even more people to come on and hear this LinkedIn Live with what you're saying about identity leadership. So again, I'm just stressing the importance of just being patient. Even when it looks like it's not working, it's still working. And I just wanted to testify about that. I did have a question for Austin real quick, but I just wanted to give you the updates of what's going on, and I'm just keeping it going.
Yeah, ask Austin your question. Let me just say this real quick. So what you're seeing, Rico, because you have a really strong brand, because it's making sense. Okay, do you really understand your identity as a leader?
Yes.
Remember, what are we teaching you about writing copy? Thought-provoking, disruptive, headlines, topics, titles, and descriptions. Now, what you're seeing is you're putting your messaging out there, and people are responding to it. And they also know that they see the value. Remember when I told you, when I gave you the comment with Chris about your testimonial, clearly he understands the value that's in there, because he broke it down in the testimonial, what he learned from you. And that's what these corporations are going to start seeing as well. It takes a little time to get it out there. And I know a lot of you are second guessing your messaging. Is this really going to work? But that's the reason why you got to stay real strong on what you believe in and what you want to get out there to the world. But make sure that the messaging connects with the meeting planner, and you're doing an effective job of that right now. That's what you're seeing happening to you in the marketplace. The market is listening, giving you the feedback. You're going through a discovery process. They're liking, loving, and they're going to eventually pay because the messaging is that strong. What's your question to Austin? We're getting ready to wrap up the Q&A, by the way, everybody. After this question, I'm gonna do the last call for questions, and we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah. Last on the web flow of the mobile device, because what I'm noticing, I believe the framework, maybe, I don't know if I missed it, but I was trying to make the alignment for the 4 signature programs be more, especially on your phone, where they can just scroll down, they can see each signature program, one back to back underneath one another. But I noticed it was a misalignment. And then I went back and tried to correct it. And I just wanted to know, is there a video you could recommend me to, Austin, or where I can actually make that adjustment on my website?
Yeah, so you want to learn how to use the Webflow mobile responsive system. Essentially, when you're in the Webflow designer, you can click on the little phone icon in the top left of the screen, like when you're on that page, and it'll show you what it looks like on mobile, and you can adjust things right there in the mobile view to make it look more mobile responsive for that device. And there's a tablet too. I wouldn't worry about tablet, just focus on the mobile, the phone version, and then the desktop version. But what I would do is go on YouTube and search Webflow, mobile responsive, and there's plenty of trainings on there on how to do that.
Appreciate it, gentlemen, so much. I'll be back on next week. Oh yeah, by the way, KTR, last thing I would say is, you remember that one event I was telling you about? I was waiting on, you told me not to hold dates, so I'm not.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's an opportunity, but I'm almost to I am to a point now where no, I'm not holding dates. And I really even considered, I know we got the 5,000, 7,500 and 10K range, but I'm telling you, I really, after progress and continuing to grow, I've really seen why I might double that. I'm just going to tell you that. I really, I kind of feel that, but at the same time, I'm patient. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Anytime you want to up the price on someone, you got to be able to justify the cost. So, cost means experience, right? Watch this. I can always justify increasing my price. And in some instances, I will make an exception. It all depends on how much I want to do business with them. See, I get it when you have leverage and you have a high level of skill, you get a chance to choose and dictate the terms.
Gotcha.
The people with the knowledge and the experience always can dictate the terms, because if they don't pay me what I want, I'll just say no, I'm not interested. See, and you can't be afraid to walk away as a speaker. And a lot of times you got to say, you know what? This is a feeling that I have of the effort that I have to put into it. My bottom fee needs to be, instead of 10,000 for this gig, maybe it needs to be 15 or 20. But you got to see, if you want them to pay you for value, you got to be willing to deliver the value.
Absolutely.
See, everybody wants to get paid the higher fee, but the fact of the matter is, a lot of speakers, they can't justify and substantiate their value. And you do that through your messaging, you do that through your sales tools. And Rico, you have every right to charge the higher fee because you're good at what you do. You have a lot of experience doing what you do. And Rico, look at how people are responding to your signature programs. Like I've been saying nothing for months. But look at the activity. Look at the comments that you get on Facebook. Look at the client. Look at the way the clients respond to identity-based leadership. Look how people are responding to your brand.
Yes, sir.
Because the consumer doesn't lie. The people spending money always dictate whether or not your brand is popping or it's not. But when it's popping and you know that, and you realize you have something really valuable to offer the marketplace, then you got to stand on it, bro. And that's exactly what you're doing. So those that are dragging their ass about making a decision, some of them are going to ghost you. You see, this is why you want to have sheer volume in your pipeline. So
Right.
no matter who says, oh, I'm going to get back to you, Rico, they ghost you. No matter who's going slow. Oh, Rico, we haven't met with the board yet to make our decision. No matter what's going on, I'm still talking to new leads.
Right.
Instead of beating a dead horse sometimes, you know what will inject new life into any business? New business, new leads, new prospects. That's why you got to always keep it moving, man. Rico, I talk to people every day that I've talked to 6 months ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 9 months ago. They weren't ready to make a decision to join our program at that moment. But see, people's circumstances change. And if you want to earn more revenue, then you got to bring in some type of system, training program, some type of consultant, coach, speaker, some type of facilitator, teacher, somebody who knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
So you can get out of the stone ages and get out of the dark. And that's what identity-based leadership does for you. I saw you put together the whole thing, bro. It's pretty impressive. And I know you're super humble and you ain't really trying to take no credit for it. But guess what? When it comes to the payday, yeah, I am going to take credit because I'm that good. See, I get the 50 to 100K per day when I speak because I'm actually that fucking good.
Yep.
That's what you want to be in your business, because you can't talk me out of how good I am, bro. I got way too much experience. And if you're not interested, I could simply say, well, you know what? Well, KTR, we know speakers that are doing for less. Well, I know clients who will pay more. So why am I dealing with you again? Oh, you don't understand who I am. You need to check the magnetic strip on the back of my driver's license. They don't know who you are, Rico. When they don't want to pay you the value, you simply don't understand who I am. Now, the ones who do understand, you're going to see the value when you go to my website. You're going to see the value when you, oh, by the way, whoever did the editing on your brand new speaker video demo, they should be up for technical lighting and directing and editing. They should be up for the Academy Award for that. That shit was fire.
Chris Cotton is that young man is, I ain't got the words to say it. When I saw it.
Rico, they did the thing on your speaker video demo, bro. That shit is amazing. I said, okay, now see Rico, now him and his team, they just over there showing off now. That's what this is. I see what it is. It's, bro, when it's done right, it's done right. And I know you spent some extra money on that thing. I could tell.
Hey, look, bro, I'm telling you, I did the same thing when it came to the music, that song. I could have, look, the engineer, when I recorded that, he was like, hey man, it's just because I was just doing a lot of tracking in the studio. He was like, okay, it's great just the way it is. I was like, nah. I said, nah, I got the live guys that's gonna play on here. And so, man, my guys, they played on it, and man, it was just powerful. And I just believe that if you're gonna come out like that, if you're gonna play, I mean, now of course I had favorable deals, but I'm just saying, if you're gonna go play, if I'm gonna be out there with the guys, I mean, I might as well be out there and do it right. And that's why when I made sure I got it mixed right, I made sure I got it mastered by a pro, Herb Powers. I made sure now when you hear that song,
Herb Powers did your mastering?
Yes,
bro. You know how long Herb been in this business, bro? Look, man, Herb was doing the man. Herb mixed our first record in 1986 called "You're the One" by Stratus Band. We sent our stuff to, I think it's Herb with Mix Masters.
Yeah, Herb is with Power Master.
Power Master. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Herb Powers. Everybody's used Herb over the years, man. That guy has an ear like you. Well, he's amazing, man.
Why you think?
How old is Herb now? He's in the 60s?
Man, he got to be, man. You know, Herb, matter of fact, I'll tell you, Herb, I've only talked with Angie, his wife, but Herb loves stuff, man. So Angie, every time I talk with her, she's like, we can't wait to get more of that great music. So it's some more stuff that's going to come. But working with professionals like that, if I'm going to put something out, I would rather put it out knowing, like, I don't have to guess at it. Like, I'll set aside, I'll make whatever, but I just know if I'm going to put something out, it's got to be right, man. I mean, it's you know what I mean?
Yeah, Rico, notice how the level that you took it to, and I remember we had a conversation about this because it was one of them times on the Q&A when it wasn't a good day for you. Like you were still trying to find yourself. You hadn't pinpointed your messaging yet. You were still trying to figure out how to incorporate that wealth of knowledge that you have in the music business and how to incorporate your production skills into your speaking, but you're doing it now. And believe me, it's showing up. See, this is what I always tell people. I'm not just a speaker, I'm an entertainer.
You told me that. You told me that.
And I told, when I first learned that you were a serious professional musician, I said, oh, bro, you got to figure out a way to incorporate every bit of that into your speaking. And let me tell you something, every bit of who you are as a musician came through on that speaker video demo. Man, I'm telling Rico, I was looking at shit like this. I was like, damn. I said, he crushed it. I said, that's it right there. Watch this. The editing, the signature programs. Who are you? What do you do? How does it benefit the meeting planner? It was leadership centric. It was identity based. It was focused on the meeting planner, and man, did it deliver value. Now you did your job in the pre-production, but your guys in post-production, man, they knocked it out the park, bro.
That's a young dude, man.
If you change anything on it, I'll never speak to you ever again.
Look, I won't, and I'll leave you with this. Last week, I'm right here, in my setup, because we're ready to go on the interview tonight. Like I said, at 8, and probably about next hour or so. But I was on that show, and just so happened we had the preset up a few minutes before, and I had my keyboard on the desk, and I didn't take it off.
Okay.
So the interviewer, she was like, "Oh, so you're gonna play for us tonight?" I was like, "Well, I can." So so watch this, bro. We were talking about identity-based leadership, of course, the book. But man, they were like, "Hey, let's take an interlude." Say to like a few-minute interlude. And guess what your boy played? Like live. Like I didn't see any singing on the first part. So we did Outstanding by the Gap Band. What? And then we transitioned into Frankie Beverly. You Make Me Happy.
You had the band in the studio with you?
No, it was just me.
It was just what?
It was just me. It was just me. And then when we come back, we do some more interviewing and all like that. And then we leave out. And then I actually played the song, like my own original song. I actually played it. Some people, they may not play. I mean, you'll hear them. Some are like, well, okay, they're a studio one way, but can they really do that outside the studio? Or can you tell, like, okay, this was them, though they may be doing it a little different.
Right.
That's what happened this time. Is we ended that show. Not only with the content, both with what was said in identity leadership, but again, with the music to really help even with the attention.
Right.
So I look, blessings to you, man. Thank you so much. I'm going back reviewing Module 5 again and just keeping the activity going and looking to be booked on more shows to help more people know about what it is that we do, and I'm pointing them to the website too. So
yeah, Rico, a lot like this last thing. I appreciate you sharing that with me as
Yeah.
we're going to be wrapping up this call. But I can tell you this, everyone, I'm going to leave you with this thought about what Rico said. Rico is utilizing every single one of his talents, and it is allowing his brand to, he's doubling down on identity-based leadership. His brand strong. He has merch. You know, anytime you have a skill and you can incorporate it in your speaking, or you can incorporate it in the production of you producing content. Rico has Herb Powers is one of the best mix masters of mastering recordings. When you mix a song, you have to go to a studio, get the highs, the lows, and the mids all right. And a guy like Herb Powers understands how to do that at a professional level. This guy mixes he's mixed some of the biggest records in the history of the music business. The mastering part is a very important part of a mix down for any movie or recording artist. And Rico produces professional grade original music for his speaker business. So that creates some, again, separation away from every other speaker, because there's very few speakers that have that skill set, just like there's very few speakers that have the amount of repetitions that I have with paid speaking engagements, traveled all over the world, and that have the level of credentials that I have. Well, that's how I've been able to do it. Each one of you are different. Put the feathers in your cap, leverage the credentials that you have, and get out there and build your brand. Because let me tell you something, you're going to struggle and bump your head just like you saw Rafa do, just like you see Lisa Allman Baldwin do when she shows up on a Q&A. Many other, Michael Towers was dead set against being a professional speaker. He wanted to be a motivational speaker. Quick adjustments with his messaging. Now he's doing over 20K a month in speaking gigs. This shit is real. This is not a game. It's not a joke. If you're playing around with it and you're dragging your ass, don't expect to see any results when it comes to harvest time. But if you got your ass out there plowing the back 40 with Big John, and you're out there digging up that dirt and you're dropping those seeds in fertile soil, I don't promise it to you. I don't promise you shit, but I guarantee you, if you put forth the effort, the reward is going to be there for you at the end. And how sweet it is going to be when your business starts making money. Tap into the system and the mechanism, ladies and gentlemen. Not fucking around has just arrived in your town, and it's here to stay. I love you. Stay focused on your goals and dreams. And I'll see you right here, same place, same time next week. Get the work done.